Hi, this is Alex here, the guy with the German villain accent. Again, I want to show you things that have changed since the last version you saw. Remember my St. Gotthard video where I did some generation of terrain with real elevation data, and I added some cool features in my app, which is downloadable already. I show you where we stopped last time. So I go to the level of St. Gotthard Pass, start the level. So here you see our level. Okay, what you see now is that we already have some road markings here. It's from my last test. But all in all, it looks the same like last time. Okay. Now I open my tool. I installed it already. It's the BeamNG mapping tools. If you can't remember how to get it, take a look at the comments in the video. There you have the link. It's on GitHub. Okay, and now I go to this generate terrain section, select my level, did the last time, was Gotthard. I open it, and you have some new sections here. I will show you. Well, first of all, we have to load the presets. You see, I'm a bit out of anything at the moment because I worked so hard last night to get it running. So I load the preset. I remember that I had it in the temp folder here. Gotthard preset Gotthard, that is. Now the preset is loaded with all the settings we did the last time in the last video, so I don't explain everything again now. Most interesting thing is that we have this section here, road width, lanes, Decalroad definition. This is the most important new feature, and you should stay with the default settings. So I chose node spacing 2 meters. It's how the Decalroad nodes are placed, how tight they are. Perhaps with our hairpin curves on St. Gotthard, it's better to go to 1 meter. Places a lot more decal nodes, but we do it because in the curves it can be that the decal roads somehow get corrupted because of the angle of the curve. So this parameter is not important at the moment, and this is a seed for random stuff like patches. You can let it 42. You know it's the answer to our questions. It's okay. And the interesting thing is the default layer sets for the Decalroads. I did a lot of stuff so that you immediately get a result without doing anything here. So if you just generate the terrain, you get what you saw here. I show you. Again, you see there's a defined width for the road, and you have here this line, for example, the line in the middle because you can't overtake. Here you could overtake a short piece there. I have a kind of algorithm for it, how these lines are made. But you see, the roads are so narrow here at the Gotthard Pass that the default settings are way too big. You see it bloats and bleeds down here and looks awful. So perhaps this is our first task we do with my settings. In order to know which layer set we have to work on, we have, of course, to know the road types. Yes, we take a look at it. But I want to show you what we have here. Because we imported the data from OpenStreetMap, we have all these OpenStreetMap definitions for highways. It's here on the left page. Motorway for the big motorways, trunks, primary roads, secondary roads, and so on and so on. Tracks are the dirt tracks. So if we want to know what we have to manage or change, we have to know which road type we want to work on. So I close it again here with cancel. So I go to take a look at the ground model asphalt. This is the material layer of BeamNG, and this is road. So we just open it and do select OSM shapes. This can take a while now because it's quite fast because I emptied the cache. I did some cache tests before. You see here the yellow thing is our road, and we see its secondary roads here. You see if I click it, it's secondary roads. So we only work on secondary roads now. Select the features, leave everything like it is, and I go back to the edit default layer sets. So you don't have to make the definitions of road widths in the material layer like we did in the last version, because now we do everything here depending on the road type. So you can have different definitions for only one material layer, which I thought is very important because otherwise you go crazy. You would have to do 5 materials of asphalt or something. We don't need that anymore. So, okay, we take a look at secondary. And you see default lane count 2 is okay, but the width is way too high because it's really, if you take a look at pictures, it's very, very narrow. So let us say one lane is only 2 meters. It might be more realistic. Or we can try it with 250 first. Yes, here's the typical smoothing margin thing. So how wide is the shoulders, the smoothing? We have to make it very small. We tried with 1 meter. I don't know if it works. And here's the spline margin thing we had in the old version as well. So if we say we have a spline margin of 0 meters, the sidelines are exactly painted, drawn on the road edge. Then you sometimes have the problem if you have grass material beside the road, that the grass material somehow bleeds into the road. And if we don't want to have that, we can say we do this spline margin negative, like minus 0.5, which we just tested. I don't know what exactly happens, but this is the setting we take now. Or the layer stuff, this is the thing. These are the options which paint the decal. So it's really the Decalroad definitions like you know it from BeamNG, that I'll show you later. First of all, we try to get the width right. So I save these changes, say save and close. And the cool thing is that we can just hit regenerate Decalroads here, because it was already one time generated, so we don't have to generate the whole terrain again. So I hope it works. Press the button. My mistake. We have to regenerate because we changed the width of the road and the shoulder and stuff like that. So we have to regenerate the whole map. Sorry for that. You see, even I have to learn. I press generate terrain. Takes a moment. Might be that it's a bit slower than in the old version. I have to do some performance tuning because I have new algorithms for the road smoothing, but it's okay. We have a visible 2K map, I say, but it's in real it's a 4K map. You see, we have here the 4K, but we have a very high resolution dam with 0.5 meters. So we have the drivable terrain of 2 kilometers, but it's 4 kilometers under the hood. Yes, so because of the resolution. So, okay, we generated it. Of course, I have to reload it here in BeamNG. And you see already the roads way more narrow. And it's still bleeding a bit, but not that much. You see here? Still have a bit of a problem. So what can we do? I would say I do nothing now. A little bit of bleed is okay. So you see, this was quite easy. In real life, this path road has no middle line markings at all. So I would say I show you how you get rid of the middle line markings now. Go back. Go to the default layer sets for secondary road. You see the small pen here. Every change you make from the default will be saved in the app settings in the app folder. But you see what you changed. Good. Okay, I said I don't want to have the lane marking in the middle. This thing you see here, you have this tags. What kind of Decalroad do we have here? Here you see this lane marking. In the end, you see some things that it does something with junctions. I explain it later. This is a per line lane marking, per lane marking. So if we have 4 lanes, yes, you would have 4 center lines. And it does something in curves. No. Oh, I don't know exactly what this is. We open it and then we take a look. Here you see you have normally this material discontinue, white line discontinue. It's a lane marking. This is just a layer name for seeing what we are in. You have the render priority. It's enabled, yes, and you have this geometry. 0.2 might be much. You can change it. And this is the position. You know, if you have 0, you see you're exactly in the center. Or if you change it, it goes more to the edges. Yes. Then the texture length. And here you see it's per lane. You can do stuff here. We use the improved spline with this data. You can do the fade settings. We have junction handling. This is something special. I tried, it's not perfect yet. So if you're at a junction or a side road is coming to the continuous road, it's, for example, breaks it in the middle or something like that, or leaves out a bit. This is the interrupt thing, exactly. The line is interrupted at junctions. If you have, exactly. I don't know if it's clever here. It's more good if you have it on the edge lines. The interruption, I have it too. So, okay, but we just wanted to get rid of it. I told you, we just disable it. But here you have curve stuff where you can, I show it with patches later. Wait, not too many things at once. So I said I enable it, I disable it, and save and close. And now it should be enough to press the regenerate decalroad button, and you see it's already ready, and we can immediately test it. It's more like a test session than a video session. Okay, but you see lines are gone. That's okay. So it's not only, wait, the car really is not a perfect position. I place it here. And you see, I just started AI now, and the car is driving perfectly on the road. So even the AI decalroads are set up in this layer settings, and the car is driving. Okay, these tight curves make problems for AI, but I can't change it here. On normal roads, it works perfect, but here it's really very special. See, it works nice. Road width is okay. If you have, I guess you will get a lot of crashes if you use complete AI traffic, but it's okay. This is what I wanted to show you here. So, and here you see, for example, the patches. And the patches are randomly set. Yes, because we don't want to do it manually, so I thought they must be somehow random. And if we take a look here at the patches, I have to find them, of course, first. Here you have patches, treat marks, patches. You have heavy wear. Yes, so on the roads, it's a bit like you have it in the road splines in BeamNG as well, but you can put as many presets here as you want. You can add your own one, of course, add layer, and then you build whatever you want here, save it, and it's saved in the big JSON file we have in the app folder of my app. But let's take a look what happens with the patches. It's a bit long ago when I programmed it, 3 months ago or something, or 2 months ago. I don't know exactly, 3 months. But I had so many problems with road smoothing that I almost forgot everything here. So, okay. What's special here? Let's take a look. Nothing special here, but here we have this randomized generation constraint. Yes, and here we see what's our minimum patch length for the patches. It's 50 meters. Maximum length is 250 meters. It will be randomized. And then how big should the gaps between patches are? So yes, the parts of the road where no patches should be. So okay, it's minimum 200 meters and maximum 500 meters. So, and it randomizes it. If you think we have too many patches, increase this. Yes. So okay, that's it for the patches, and you can do it with every layer. So it's just an example here. Yeah. Okay. For example, if we think we have too many patches here, let's take a look. Oh, I think it's quite okay. Yeah, not everywhere patches. Ah, here patches again. So we leave it. Then I'll show you the next thing. You see here on the curves, you have more tire wear. Yes, and this can be done with this curve constraint. Show it here. Here, curve. Here, heavy wear one. We have the heavy wear of the road itself. Yes, it's the road. Other road gets darker through this decal, and then you have the tread marks as well. So you have here the light tread marks, which is on the screen. This is enabled. So I show it on the heavy tread marks here. Open it. You see, we have a curve constraint. If you click it, you have the possibility to replace something in a curve or to have it only in a curve. Replace only, I'll show you later where you can really good use it. So here you have to play around a bit with the radius. Yes, this is a curvature 1 divided by meters. So it's a 20-meter radius curve. This is the minimum curvature we have to reach. And the transition length. So how far in front of the curve it should start and how far at the end of the curve it should end. This is the transition length of the effect. So, yes. So it's blended in 20 meters before the curve, and the curve must be like that. So you can make experimentations with it. That's it. So only then the material road rubber double will be laid as a Decalroad. So now the other thing which we did was in this lane marking we just disabled. Where was it? Direction divider, lane marking. It was this, but why is it enabled again? I don't know. Perhaps it didn't update here. Yeah. Now it's enabled. Huh. I don't know why. It didn't save correctly, but it doesn't matter. So I enable it again because we want to see something. Here you see the curve constraint, replace in curve. We normally have this discontinue line. And if you want to have this forbidden line for overtaking, so the continuous line, you say curve constraint, replace in curve, and we do the same, say, here's a bug. This is a bug I searched. Oh, that's good. Oh, okay, later. No, it's not bug. Null, same as main. It's the width, of the material. Because we replace the discontinue line with a straight line with the same curvature here and transition length. And you can, of course, change the transition length to a higher value because we saw that this lane was much too narrow. So you could change this here. I don't know. Oh. I leave it. Just play around with the parameters. I just wanted to explain the concept. I'm really a bit tired today. So I enabled it again. Let's see if it's regenerated or not, or if we have a bug. Everything is possible. No. Perhaps that wasn't the wrong thing. I don't know. Perhaps it's a bug. But if you fiddle around a bit with it, it works again. So this is what I know. And if you have complaints, just write my GitHub, an open issue, and I will take a look at it. So, okay, we solved that. I think you get the concept. The road looks nice. What I really put a lot of effort in is, this part of a road here, where the dirt road, for example, meets the normal road. Now you have a really drivable curvature here all the time. Yes. And here where it starts, for example, because this might sound like a small thing, but the higher the elevation is, the harder it is to get it right. Yes. It's very easy to smooth one road, but if you have to smooth a lot of roads and they meet, you get into trouble. I needed a lot of weeks to solve it, but now I'm quite happy with the results. Okay. And the interesting thing here is, for example, just as a tip, if you really work with my tool and you have the problem that you have gaps in the road because there's normally a bridge, for example. Here's normally a bridge, yes, but we don't have the bridge generation right now. But you don't see a bridge here and you don't see a gap. You can drive here. So why is it? And I show you the parameters which are important for this special topic. We are on the dirt road now, Yes. Here, you have to go to the material, dirt road material, because the smoothing options are not per road type, but they are just per material. Otherwise, you would go crazy. Believe me. Okay, here you have to go to this, I call it advanced settings nerd mode, because you have so many parameters. Okay, we have to open it. And here you see the cross-section interval, which means how many control points are set on the road for the smoothing to work. The smaller the number, the more control points, the smoother, in theory, you get the road. Yes. 0.5 is perfectly fine normally for all the roads. If you have feeling that it's not fine enough, you can lower this. Then you have the second value, which is very important. It's the window size. It's the smoothing window size, which means how long is the vector drawn the road is smoothed along. Yes, and how far does the smoother look? But it's not only meters or something. Yes, it's a kind of coefficient here, or I don't know the English word. Okay, and if you want to know how far this goes, 51 with 0.5 cross-section intervals, you have to take a look here. Somewhere here's the formula in the end. You see, it's more or less smoothing window size multiplied by cross-section interval meters. So if we have 0.5 cross-sections per meter in 51 meters, we are at around 25 meters in front of us. Yes. So normally, if you would load the DEM data, you would have ditches at bridges, you couldn't drive them. So I can show you if I make it very low, for example, only, well, let's say it must be an odd number. Don't tell me why. It's some mathematical, I don't know. I take 11, we would only have around 5 meters. Yes. We just test it, generate the terrain again. And then you should get a ditch there. You are nearer, of course, at the real DEM data. If you have very high DEM data, you would try to keep these values small because it's more realistic. Yes, but perhaps less drivable. Yes, because all the time, if you smooth a road, you have to fight against the original elevation, because you do terraforming, it goes up a bit or down a bit. The higher the values are, the more unrealistic might the result be, but it's pleasant and decent to drive on the road. So it's up to you at this point. So let's take a look. Reload the Gotthard bus again. I think. So let's take a look at our dirt road. Where was it? Ah, here, you see what happens. This is more or less how the DEM would be. Yeah, and you can't drive it. So I'm here really, if you don't want to build the bridges yourself, just keep it higher. So what I do for dirt tracks is this 51 setting we saw, 0.5, because it's still a bit bumpy then. Yes, the road is more bumpy, and I don't use this Butterworth filter, which smooths the road surface even more. And for normal roads, I take higher values. So they're really smooth long forward, because sometimes I made a French map, and then you have sometimes this special roads at cliffs, yes, which go along the cliff, and they are not marked as bridge at all in OpenStreetMap. So, and then it goes up and down like mad, and you can drive it, and then I say, come on, smooth 200 meters forward. So, and then you have, of course, higher values here, like I show you. What did I use here for the normal roads? I don't know exactly. Ah, you see, 401. Oh, so 200 meters. Okay, that's it. We stop now with this terrain generation thing. I could show you a lot of more things, but I want to show you the next cool feature. Because if you take a look here, we just added terrain based on the OpenStreetMap data, but to be honest, it looks better than nothing, but it looks still very generic. Yes, and this green mountain stuff, we don't like it. When we generate the map, we want to paint, of course. We want to paint terrain and stuff like that, and you can't do it with a real PBR base color texture in the background. Yes, which makes the map look nice, but you can't paint on it because if you paint on it, you only see through the color of the base color texture which is behind. And what I did is I gave the possibility, if you make the map generation, you have one solid color for each terrain so that you can show you paint. For example, we want to paint dirt here on the rocks. If goes the terrain painter, where's the window? Oh, it's always the same. Ah, it's here. Ah, try it again. Do I get it out here? Yes. Ah, good. I say I want to draw mud. The mud is a bit wrong color because we don't use mud here. Let's take forest floor. Do we have forest floor? No, in the wrong color. I don't know. Did a mistake. Okay, but I'll show you the new feature. It's way better. It's way better to show you just the new feature, and then you get the idea. So the new feature is here. It's the base color manager. So this one is standalone, so you don't have to use my generate terrain thing. It's only important for one thing, I tell you. You can use every map. It must be unpacked already. Most favorable in the current levels folder so that you can just start it and work on it. We are at Gotthard. Yes. So this looks a bit the same like my terrain material copy thing. Yes. Okay, here are some colors missing. Yes. I don't know if we don't use forest, but perhaps we use grass. I don't know. Some colors are missing here because I just only use these colors, but it's not the problem. But if you go to paint mode and you can give everything a color you want, for example. Yes, forest, and just do a quick test. Forest, or where was the mud? We make it brown so that I can show you. Brown is over here, the yellowish, something like this. Should be enough. And I regenerate the paint mode. And if I reload the map, let's go here again, and I try to paint mud now. Mud, mud, mud. You see, it has the color I gave the material in my paint mode. So I delete it again. What is important to know, if you save this paint mode, a JSON file is saved. Empty settings, it's called. It's in the root folder of the map. It saves everything you do here. So you work on your map. You are in paint mode. You give everything a decent color. You can paint, do stuff like you want until your terrain is nice. But then you have one big disadvantage. If you are in this paint mode and you have these solid colors, you get a kind of jaggy edges at roads or where materials are connected and it looks not that nice. Perfect thing you need for terrain generation is one merged base color map, which somehow blurs the background a bit and makes the jaggy edges going away. So therefore, I have this base color mode. See here. What it does, it immediately merges all this single material color thing to one flat um, base color map. Even now, if I would say activate base color mode, it would be copied. It changes all this texture files in the background automatically. You don't have to do anything. And it would already look way better. Yes, I don't show it now because I want to show you the cool stuff. And the cool stuff is here. We can download tile overlays, a kind of satellite image. Yes, I have some things inside here. I'm pretty sure it's not optimal to have this Google thing here because of licensing. So if you sell your map, I don't know if it's perfect, but nobody, I don't know if anybody can see it later on, but I use this tool for private use and therefore I put it in. Yes, I could, of course, activate it with an API key, but I made some tricks. I didn't want that. And if you want to be more sure, you just take ArcGIS satellite. It's almost the same quality, and I guess they have a looser licensing policy. But I stay with this and say, okay, I fetched the tiles. This only works if you generated the terrain with my tool because it writes in the settings all the coordinates of your map so that it can fetch the right satellite data for the right place. If it didn't do that, but you want to use this functionality, you just can select a file. You see, I have only PNG, JPEG, where P. If you need TIFF, I have to make some changes in the next version. But should be enough. You can load this in and it works the same. Yes. Or if you want to download it, you must edit the settings file and add the special coordinate stuff there. But we go the straight way. I say fetch. No, that was too fast. What's going on here? Why doesn't it fetch? Did I do a mistake? Google won't let us. Perhaps I did it too often today. Something like that could be possible. But it works well normally. Then we take the ArcGIS satellite. Shouldn't be a big problem. So let's wait a while. It fetches all the different tiles in a root folder, in a special dedicated folder, which you can delete later on. So it did it, but I don't. I'm so stupid. Now we have it. Press preview. It was everything was set to 0 here. Now I explain the blend function. We have the satellite image on the right, you see, and you can decide how much it should be blended over our terrain material colors. I could say I just want to have it a little bit. Here you have to press the preview button and you see it's just a nuance of satellite. Yes, but we want to have a good effect. 100 is too much, in my opinion. It doesn't look natural. So let's take perhaps 80% for this try. So preview, yeah, it's very nuanced. So this is the overall blend. slider, but you have a blend slider for every material here, because on some layers you don't want to have the overlay. And you can guess what I mean. We don't want to have it on our asphalt roads. Then they get this blurry overlay and you don't want it. So here we have asphalt. I take it out. I'm pretty sure, I don't know exactly which layer I used for asphalt, so I put them all out. And the dirt roads, I don't want it there too. So, okay, so let's do a test. You just press activate base color mode. It takes a while because it has to do all the textures, and the most consuming ones are the ambient occlusion and normal maps, because here it has to be calculated a bit. So now it's done, and we will see what we get. Gotthard. That. You see that there's some textures on this wall already. And if you take a look, you see already nice colored. Ah, now I know why the Google thing didn't work. The Google thing worked, but I cached the tiles and I did a test before the video. And I started the video and it is cached and it was that fast. So I want the Google tiles just for comparison. So Google satellite, regenerate base color mode. I think it looks a little bit better. So it's a good sign if it's going fast, then it's already in the cache. Okay, let's take a look. Oh, which map is loaded now? I hope the same one. Yes. So it's no big difference, but you see the colors are a bit more contrasty here. Somehow looks better. You see? And the good thing is in that mode, you can, of course, paint too. You don't see the original colors, but now you can exactly see where the rocks are and you paint rocks on it and stuff like that. So it can really help. Yes. So one other thing, for example, what you can do too, the last feature I explained in this base color manager, for example, we want to have not the satellite blue for the lakes as base color. We want a kind of different blue. So we go back here, because underneath all these materials, we have this OSM layer overrides. Yes. We just fetched all the OSM data while terrain generation. It's saved in this terrain generation folder. If you didn't delete it, you get a selection of all the OSM layer shapes here. So you just can select it and it's usable. So I already selected the natural water polygon. That's for the lake. It's already on. See, if you don't have it, because you use the standalone thing without map generation, you can select a PNG file. It must be the typical 8-bit black and white file, like BeamNG uses it. And then you can do things here. You can say how much should the overlay. Yes, the overlay is satellite overlay, should go in here. And here you see an immediate change. If you take a look, wait, should get darker here. Yes, it's getting darker. You must release the mouse, and then you see how the water is changing and how much of the overlay is kept. So more overlay so that we perhaps get some structure, water structure, I don't know. And okay, perhaps the color is not perfect. Could change now to darker blue, like this. And we can override the roughness of the material as well. The lower the roughness, the more shiny it gets. No, so happy. And everything is saved. Everything, if you press regenerate or save settings, everything is saved and you can always change it in the next months of map making. So let's take a look, take a last look. Yes, and with this normal and radius things, you can play around. It's just a default. I don't know which best settings are. It depends. And it's up to you. Okay, done. Reload it. A little bit of Coke. So not Coca-Cola, of course. Let's take a look. And you see now they are a little bit darker. So, and from far away, it really looks good. And you see that the roads are not distracted by the satellite overlay, which is, I think, the most important thing to get a more natural feeling. And you see even the dirt roads are just painted over. There is no bleed in from the satellite images. And you see here, still have ditches, stuff like that, because we don't have this high smoothing window on dirt roads. Okay, I guess, you see, it looks good. I guess it's enough for today. It was a long video already. I just wanted to make it short, but that never works with me. Have a good time, test it, download it, and tell me if you have problems. Some people say they can't start it at all because all the GDAL libraries for elevation data don't work. Others have other problems. Yes, it's just a hobby project. Goodbye and good luck.